Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of I Am the Becoming. So, I just want to just start it off by saying, like, hey, man, just close your eyes, take a deep breath, and before we begin, man, I just will take a few seconds for you guys to just clear your mind, open up the space in your heart, and just let it all go. Sometimes, man, we just have a lot that we're holding on to, a lot of weight that we carry. I just want to let you know that, what I'm saying, you are seen, you are heard, you are felt, and that, there's nothing that you can't accomplish. There's nothing that you can't get over. There's nothing about any of your fears that you can, get over. You can conquer anything that you set your mind to. So that's what I wanted to start off with. So, let's just, jump right into it. This episode is more resorting to the keys that were never lost. Last night I had a dream that I lost my wallet and my car keys, and I was searching everywhere, frustrated, confused, disconnected, but I really still couldn't find my keys. Eventually I ended up going back into the place where I had lost my keys and left my wallet, and I found the $2 that I had kind of like just stowed away in there, just kind of on some, a dollar in a dream type, type stuff. But but what I didn't expect to find was a couple other $1,000 just overflowing out of the wallet. And I really froze for a second, and I didn't get it because the math wasn't mathing up. And but the message did. And sometimes we all feel what is lost is only an invitation to see what always was there. You know what I mean? And let's just, talk about the dream in itself, what I learned from it. You know what I mean? And because I think we've all had moments like these, and need to be talked about. Most cases we don't have outlets, so I'm gonna just use mine on here. Moments where you feel like you've lost something important: direction, control, security. That's what the keys in the wallet symbolize. That's our security. That's our comfort zone. That is our safety blanket. Whatever you want to really call it. You know what I mean? And the keys represent the access, movement, power. They unlock doors. They start engines. They move you forward. Your wallet is always basically your identity. You keep your driver's license, your money, your credit cards, you know what I mean? Your social security with you. Like that's pretty much your entire identity. Without it, you'd be lost, right? So that's basically what you would call, in real terms, in reality, looking within on yourself. That is the value. That is your worth. So, you know what I mean? So when both go missing in a dream, or when both went missing in my dream, it's not just about misplacing items. It's about what happens when life pulls you away from everything external, and you've been, basically what you've been using to define yourself this entire time. And it's funny, but then, I find my wallet, and outside the familiar, the $2 that I always expected was there. You know what I mean? But on the inside, and the unseen part, the part I hadn't looked at yet, was filled with thousands overflowing. That's when I knew I've been holding on to a small, very small version of myself. I've been holding on to the safe amount, the $2 that I always kept with me. You know what I mean? The $2 self is what I would like to call it. But what's really inside of me, and not just me, and this is, for all my young flames out there, just limitless value, abundance, overflow, prosperity, wealth. We all have it. It's we're divine. You know what I mean? We have what you would call a divine overflow. You know what I mean? It's infinite. We're an infinite resource. It's in it. It's been gifted to us. We were born with it. We've always had it. We've always had the ability to do those things, to create our own wealth, our own prosperity, good health, you know what I mean, and abundance. You know, it's always been in us. And, I just want you guys to know that this is something that you don't have to chase. You just have to attract it. You have to recalibrate your mind and rewire your thought process and your mentality on everything that you see in life, that you see yourself, see your self-worth and your value as it is. You're much more. You are much more. So, I just always want you to keep that in mind. Whatever you think of yourself right now, if it's something in a low vibrational, sense, like, change that, one thought at a time, constantly still embracing those demons, those ghosts, those skeletons in the closet, man. You are who you are. And, you just have to keep going, and you have to just push your convictions on what you believe in. Because as the vision goes, you see it in your mind, you think it, you know what I mean? You speak it, you write it, you act on it, and then you believe. But honestly, once you see the vision, you have to believe it first anyway. You have to believe in you, and you have to push your convictions on that every day. Every day. Every day you have to act on who you believe that you are. You have to live a life and understand, like, this is who you are. This is who you were always born to be. And, like, never waver. You know what I mean? We all have bad days. I'm not going to say that every day is going to be great, while you're on this path. There's going to be some very, very rough and challenging trials and tribulations. But you still have to push your convictions and be present every day and be immersed in the moment. Because for one, you can't get behind it. The past is already done. You can't get behind the moment. You can't get ahead of the moment. You know what I mean? Like, you can only stay in it. You're always going to be in it. Even when you're asleep, you're always going to be in that moment. So continue to, live as you see your vision. Live as if you already have it. Live as you already know it. Live as you've already created it. You know what I mean? Like, this is what you're manifesting into reality, and you have divine control as being a co-creator. So, you know what I mean? Like, just continue to keep going. Never waver, never fall. You're the captain of your own ship, and it's either going to sink or sail. So, but the confusion that I got out of my dream, the moment of, wait, what's happening? Because we all get it, you know what I mean? Like, man, how did I even lose this? When did I even take this out of my pocket? When did I even decide to leave this up here? You know what I mean? And it was an unknown place that I would leave it. Normally when we lose things, we usually put things that are, you know what I mean? We usually put the things that we value, that we put them in places where they're easily reachable, easily found, that we know when we go out the door, we already know this is what we pick up. The keys are hanging, the wallet is on your dresser, you know what I mean? Like, just your necessities, you put them in particular places so you know before you leave, like, it's in that spot. But for some odd reason, I guess because I put it in an unknown place, that caused a bit of confusion. And it was more of a, wait, what's happening type of moment. And to me, that's sacred. That's the exact moment that the ego breaks, because it's no longer you're in an unfamiliar place. You're no longer in your comfort zone. And I was always told, man, get comfortable being uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Break the ego. You know what I mean? Kill the pride. Like, you just have to let go of these things. You know what I mean? And then, just allow your soul to take the mic and, take over for you. Let the soul lead you. Let the universe, do what it's supposed to do. Have that understanding without understanding. Have all the control by not having any control. You have to let it go. Sometimes you don't need to understand the shift. You just simply need to witness it, receive it, and breathe into it. Like sometimes we are so caught up in working and, just life be life. And we never really get a chance to really just slow down and think about what's going on. So distracted by the distortions and the illusion, the duality, the fractures. We're so caught up in it, man, that we never really get a chance to really just stand back and really pay attention to who we are. But at the end of the day, you are meant to remember. You're not here to learn anything. You are here to remember that you are abundant, that you are wealthy, that you are healthy, that you are prosperous, that you are the key to all things. You are the key to divine overflow. You are the key to all things that make it happen. Like, you are an infinite resource, and you cannot forget that. Just talk about a life that you're already living like it's already done. And this dream was a reminder that I'm not pretending to have it. I'm remembering that I already do. I'm not searching for the keys anymore, because I am the access. I am the door. The abundance isn't out there in some future version of me. It's something that I was already born with, something that I already have, and something that I truly believe in. At the end of the day, I'm not here to chase anything. I'm only here to remember and enjoy the journey and continue to be a co-creator in it, and understand that I am, and I am. You know what I mean? I'm hidden in the quiet. You know what I mean? Just waiting to be revealed when I stop chasing and start aligning. And once I really align myself mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, like financially, everything got better. And it continues to grow, continues to evolve with me. And that I no longer chase any of these things. When you're saying your 7 affirmations, just align them all to the 7 chakras. You know what I mean? And that'll be another episode that I will definitely align you out with, as far as, when it comes to your affirmations and being able to say them and truly believe in them every single day. And you live as you already have. So if you are feeling lost, if life feels like it's hiding your keys, man, or if the wallet's gone missing, pause and ask yourself, what am I actually being invited to remember right now? Because the universe doesn't take anything without returning something greater. And sometimes it hides what you think you need, and just long enough for you to truly find what you are. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's understanding your value and your self-worth. Knowing who you are. That's where it all begins. And remembering who you are and why you even came here in the first place. But understand that you are truly meant to be healthy, wealthy, abundant, and prosperous in this life. Don't forget who you are. Remember who you are. That's the whole point of you being here. So, here's a good affirmation that I would like to give you all as I, to end this episode. I just take your time, close your eyes and listen, open your ears and open your heart, open your soul. And allow the frequency and allow the vibration to be as high as you want it to be, as you see it to be, as you feel it to be, as you hear it to be. Hear the echoes in my voice and let it all channel through you and align you. I am no longer searching for keys. I am the door. I am the access. I am the abundance I once thought I had to find. Let that sink in. Really feel it. So that concludes our episode for today. This is I Am the Remembering, a space for all to reclaim your truth, your power, and the life that's already waiting for you. Until the next time, trust the unfolding. Protect your essence, your frequency, and your energy. To all my young flames out there, I'm proud of you for awakening. Can't wait to meet you all.